Hey there and welcome. I'm Keenan and this is the Clear English Corner. In this lesson, we're talking about the basic intonation patterns or how the voice rises and falls for sentences and questions in English. Recognizing and using these patterns will help you sound more natural in your daily conversations. So let's dive right in. Let's talk first about the basic statement or sentence. In written English, a statement or sentence ends with a period. In spoken English, your pitch will fall when you reach where that period would be. But here's the key. Your voice is only going to fall on the final sound in the final word within the sentence. Let me show you what I mean. Here's an example. Take the sentence, "Let's eat outside." Outside. Outside. Do you hear how my voice falls on that final sound in the word outside? Let's eat outside. It's nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you. You. Do you hear that? It was a great trip. It was a great trip. Ip. A great trip. That's an excellent suggestion. Suggestion. That's an excellent suggestion. Do you hear how that tone of voice or that intonation, that pitch is falling on that final sound? That's an excellent suggestion. Now moving into questions. Questions are a little less straightforward.
There's a common misconception that your voice will always rise at the end of a question.
But actually, the voice typically only rises when you're asking a question that can be answered by yes or no. For example, do you like it? Do you like it? Can we meet at 3? Did you have lunch? Are you serious? Does this make sense? Do you hear that? Does this make sense? In contrast, when you're asking a question that starts with one of the WH words, this is who, what, why, when, where, and how. That one starts with H. With these types of questions that can't be answered with just yes or no, your pitch typically falls at the end of that question like there's a period. What works best? Best. What works best? Why did you say that? Why'd you say that? Who else will be there? Who else will be there? There. When is this due? When is this due? When do you leave? Where did you find that? When can you meet? Meet. When can you meet? How'd it go? Go. How'd it go? Interesting, right? Now, sometimes you will hear the pitch raise at the end of a WH question. This happens when the person asking the question is seeking repetition or clarification about something that's already been stated or already been discussed. So for example, if you think the meeting's at 10, you're pretty sure, but you want to be certain, you might ask your colleague, when are we meeting? Meeting. When are we meeting? Or if you're shocked when you're given the price or a quote for something, you might say, how much is that going to cost? How much is that going to cost? Notice that the question word here is also emphasized when you're seeking that repetition or clarification. When was this delivered? What are the final numbers? Why did we choose that? How long is this session? Whose idea was this? Do you hear the difference there? Let's do a little practice with yes, no versus WH questions. All right, here we go. Do you like it? How'd you like it? Have you met her? How'd you meet her? Can I help? How can I help? Is it over? When will it be over? Did you hear? What did you hear? Do you work there? Where do you work? Do you think that? Why do you think that? Also, you can take a regular old statement or sentence and turn it into a question by using rising intonation or raising your pitch at the end. She got the job. She got the job. He got married. He got married. They loved it. They loved it. It was amazing. It was amazing. I have a suggestion. I have a suggestion. I have a suggestion. Ooh, see what I did there? I have a suggestion. I have an idea. If I use rising intonation here, it sounds like I'm asking a question, right? Like I'm uncertain and like I'm looking for confirmation. You don't want to unintentionally convey this. So watch out for using rising intonation in statements. You don't want it to sound like a question. I have a suggestion. Here's something to consider, right? We don't want those statements to sound uncertain. So watch out for that rising intonation. You don't want to put it at the end of a statement unless you're wanting it to sound like a question or to sound like you're uncertain. Another time you may hear and want to use rising intonation is if you're expressing a thought that has two parts. You say the first part with a rising intonation or letting your pitch raise at the end, and this lets your listener know that you're not done talking, that you still have more to say. This is called non-final intonation. Here's a few examples. It's a lot of money, but it's worth it. He's a little intense, but he's extremely talented. If we follow this plan, we'll be debt-free in a year. With this new job, I'll have to work weekends. We talked about it, and now I feel a lot better. If we do this, there's no turning back. You'll also hear this non-final intonation when someone asks a question that gives choices, 2 or more options. Do you want a medium or a large? Would Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday work better? Should we go out or stay in? Would you prefer soup or salad? Do you like the gray, the blue, or the red? Red wine or white? And there you have it, English Sentence and Question Intonation 101. Be sure to visit the Clear English Corner blog for a list of all the questions and sentences used in this lesson, as well as tons of other free practice lessons and practice resources. As always, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.